glad you could join me today for Lady Liadan's Learning Library. Today we're going to be talking about calligraphy. Who knows what calligraphy is? That's right, it's pretty writing. Now, how many of you have actually seen some of the charters that your kingdom, your barony, have given to the adults in your group? They have really pretty writing on them, don't they? Calligraphy is a way of writing that makes something very special. So today we're going to learn how to make it. As you can see, I've got a couple of examples here on different types of writing. There are different tools that you use. I'm using what's called a dip pen and ink. You can also use a pencil. It's a flat pencil. It looks kind of weird, doesn't it? But it makes things a whole lot easier when you're first learning. Not to mention you can erase when you make a mistake. Problem with ink is you get it on your fingers. If you look at mine, I've got ink all over them. So today we're going to talk about different styles of calligraphy, the different tools of calligraphy, and the types of things that you can see that you see calligraphy on. Now, calligraphy they've been using for, as you can see, this is one of the charters that a friend of mine received. You've got to be very careful with those because you don't want to get fingerprints all over them and ruin them for yourself or others. So you can see on that they used really, really nice handwriting, didn't they? And there really is kind of a difference between handwriting and calligraphy. Calligraphy takes a lot longer than just regular handwriting. I mean, if you were to just write your name, it wouldn't take you 2 seconds, would it? But if you really concentrated on it and made it look pretty, kind of like how I did here, and how these turned out, you really concentrated on it. See how pretty it can be? Now the type that I am using is called Italics. And that's the kind we're going to learn today. Italics is one of the easiest ones to use. And the easiest ones to learn. Because it is very simple. Now, moms and dads, you can get any one of these things at a craft store, at Walmart, Target, I think. Amazon. Amazon has everything. But you want to be using parchment or watercolor paper because it's heavier. And if you're using, it's going to dry faster than it would on just regular paper. So what I'm using, this is actually a calligraphy paper, and there is a link to it in the supplies list that I'm using. And so Italics is actually pretty easy. Okay, now you want to take your ruler because you want nice straight lines. And you're going to take a pencil. I'm going to go ahead and use my calligraphy pencil. And make light lines going across the page. Just like this. Okay. And if you saw me working earlier, I'm generally holding my pen or pencil at a 45-degree angle to the page. I mean, how you normally hold a pencil is like this. How I'm holding it is like this. Completely different. So we're going to start with lowercase a. And you come around like that. Make it nice and fat. And then you give it a little tail. Just like that. So we're going to go across the page and practice our A's. Around like that. Oh, you see how I got it a little too far away? It happens. We're still learning, right? So, give yourself a break. Don't get upset that you didn't do it perfectly all the time. So we're going to come around like this. Nice fat belly. And then give it a tail. Nice fat belly. And we're going to give it a tail. Just like that. Now, I'm going to pull out my pen and ink. So there's my ink. There's my pen. We're going to see if we can do this with pen and ink. It may not look very good because my ink's kind of dry. Yep, look at it. It looks really bad. But we tried. I need to get new ink. There's also calligraphy markers. You can see it's got a chisel tip on it. And you can play with those if you want to play with ink that's not messy. So we're going to practice our A's for a little bit. Lowercase is always easier. A lot rounder forms. Okay. Now, we can take that and translate it. So we're going to want to make some more lines. Now, this is not something that you are going to learn in 5 seconds. This is going to be something that you practice all your life. I learned when I was a little girl. Of course, I'm still a little girl. But we're not going to go into that. So our next one is going to be what? What comes after A? B. So we give it another nice round belly. just like that. And then, oh, that's a D. Haha. So A, D. Now we're going to try B. So we start with the stick. So there's the stick of the B. Give it a nice round belly. Just like that. So D's and B's are kind of the same. The D starts out like an A, but you give it a longer stick. The B, you start with the stick and then give it a belly. So let's practice some D's and B's for a little while. Just like that. So round belly and the stick and the stick and the round belly. So keep practicing. Now let's look at some other forms. So yeah, we're making our lines again, just like that. I really like this pencil. I like the fact that it's flat. And the sharpener that comes with it has two sides. It's got one side to sharpen it like that, and then the other side to sharpen it like that. So it's kind of fun. Who thought sharpening pencils could be fun? Alright, now we're going to look at like R and V and and W, because those are fun ones. Alright, so just like that, and then you can either take it up and do a V, or you can take it over and do an R, or take that all the way over and do an N, and then add another one for an M, or you can do a loop and a loop, make a W. So let's try V. So just like that. Let's try an R. The R and the V look an awful lot alike, don't they? There we go. Again, it takes a lot of practice and a lot of thinking. Okay, here's look at that. There's a W. W. Double V. So aren't those fun? So let's try an N. And then you would just add another hump to make it an M. Let's try, get another sheet of paper, because we ran out of room on that one. look at, oh, we need to make lines. How many of you have studied handwriting in school? I remember doing handwriting in school. Learning it was hard, but once you learned it, it was a whole lot easier, wasn't it? I remember my teachers drawing on the chalkboard making these lines. Alright, now we're going to look at some of the uppercase letters, or majuscule. The ones we were practicing were called minuscule letters. So, we've got A, B, C. You can always add a flourish here and there. D. E's look funny. They look like backwards threes. And F. G is just a C. With a funny tail. H. I actually looks an awful lot like F, but it doesn't have that little crossbar. And then J's are funny. They're kind of interchangeable with I. But if you can look, you can see the difference here. I, J. What's the difference? The difference is that little tail right there. K. K is always such a fun letter. And down. I always like bringing mine down below the line just because it makes it look fancier. Oh, we need more lines. One. Two. Three. Ooh, here's my favorite letter. This is the first letter of my name. L for Liadan. Oh. Add a little flourish there. T. is just an O with two tails. There's another way to make Q. It looks like a weird tube. I like this one because you can tell it's a Q. And T. Oh dear, look at T. T looks like I and J, doesn't it? Kinda. It just doesn't have any tails. U. Oh, need more lines. Just remember that it's not always going to be perfect. Even I make mistakes. B. W. X. And Z. Those are your magical letters. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do is practice. Practice, practice, practice. And moms, dads, this is an excellent book. It has practice pages in it, so you can practice your italics. All the different letters. And different sentences. They also have all kinds of fun things that you can work on. Another good book, while it doesn't have practice pages, it goes through some of the different ones in color that we use in the SCA, like Gothic calligraphy. There's the italics I was talking about and showing you. And different fun things that you can use to practice your forms. So it's got a lot of different things. So have fun learning. That's all for now, guys. See you next time.